Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and today we are back in the A32NX mod by Fly-by-Wire. So we're going to be flying the A320 non-stop service from Denver, Colorado over to Chicago. This will be a full flight and full instructional on how I set everything up my way. So you guys are welcome to follow along. Right now all I've done so far in the aircraft is turn the batteries on and got the external power going. So if we switch into the cockpit, I'll show you guys what I've done so far. So just flipped on battery 1 and 2, flipped on the external power, and then set the ADIRS to nav to get everything aligning, and then just adjusted my lights. I have done nothing else on the aircraft thus far. So I'm just adjusting some brightness levels here, make things a little bit more to my liking here. Okay, and so now it's a matter of setting up our flight plan, so let's go ahead and do that. By the way, if you guys notice video cuts in between scenes, I promise you're not missing anything. I stop and start the recording to make it easier to put the video together in a way that I can break the chapters up down in the description below. That way you guys can skip to the parts that you enjoy. Alright, but I promise you're not missing anything. So now let's start with the flight plan. Today we're going to be with United Airlines, flying something a little bit different today, and we're going to make up a random one today. Let's make it 2517 or 1517. Sure, okay, I thought that was 25. Apparently I need to learn how to type. And we are at KDEN, and we are going to Chicago. Anybody remember what Chicago's ICAO is? Because I do not. So let's see here. O'Hare. ICAO, there we go, is, gosh, you'd think this would be easier to find. KORD, huh, I would have thought that was like Orlando. KORD, alright, so let's see here, got our alternate in there, airframe, we are flying the A320-200. There we go. At least that's the closest we got in here. You know, actually, hang on a second. Alright, so if I remember correctly, I had added an aircraft. I have to remember how we did that. Is it the open the aircraft editor? Ah, there we go. Let's see here. It's this guy, I think. Aircraft type A320 N32SB is our registration. New airframe, sort type, civilian, da da da. Oh, no, that's the last one. Okay, so we want a new flight. Hang on a second. So there was a way to, with the A32NX mod, they added the, I'll just pick one, I don't care. They added the flight or the aircraft configuration to your fleet here. What did we say that was? KOR? KDOR? Is that right? No, that's not right. What did I say it was? Gosh, KORD. There we go. Anyway, and so they added the aircraft configuration to SimBrief, so that way, and it looks like it's this guy right here. Yep, that's what we wanted. There we go. So this is actually, and I'll do a tutorial on how to do this, but it sets up with the A32NX mod. So the aircraft configuration that's in SimBrief now matches this specific airplane according to what the devs at Fly-by-Wire have done. So it makes it really handy. It makes the flight plan more accurate. Cost index, again, we're not paying for gas today, so we're going to make it pretty high. Fuel factor we'll leave as default. Departure, let's go ahead and see what ATIS is doing today. Lord help us. We might actually attempt to use the in-game ATC, but we'll see. we'll at least give it a shot. So let's go back to clearance here. Let's tune our ATIS. There it is, right there. And let's find out what we've got. 2992. See, come on. It's always 2992. I call such BS. We're using 16 and 17. Alright, so that's fine. So we can come over here. And yep, we'll use, let's see here, 17 right. Is that the runway we want to use? Let's pop up Navigraph and see where we're at here. The joys of flight planning. Just think it's easy for us. Let's see here. We want to do KDEN. And we're looking for taxi. Airport info. And let's see where we are. So we're here. Yep, so 17 right, it looks like where we want to be. So let's go ahead and pull that off. That's our closest runway. And we're not going to worry about flight time, things like that today. Let's see here. Let's take an extra 1,000 kilograms of fuel. Passengers, we can leave that at auto. Cargo, every time I set it to auto, it doesn't actually attach him. But we'll try it again. We'll see if it actually gives us any. If not, we can come back and edit the flight plan. Alright, looks like pretty simple. Let's see if it gives us... Does it tell us our flight time? Taxi out 2008. Let's see here. Taxi in at 08. Let's see. Alright, let's go ahead and generate the OFP. Alright, so let's see what we've got. Block fuel, block time, air time. So we're looking at 1 hour and 57 minutes of flight time. And let's see if it gave us any cargo, because it really typically does. Yeah, see, look, point. Come on, man. Alright, let's edit that. That's crap. I don't know why it sucks so bad with the cargo. But let's go back and edit that. Let's bump that up a bit, because that's nothing. Let's do like 13.7. Get a little on the heavier side. Generate that OFP again. Let's make sure it actually gave it to us this time. Still only says 0.2. What the heck? Like, it does not... But then right there, it has it under payload. The problem is payload is supposed to be cargo and passenger combined. So, anyway. Alright, well, we'll wing it. We'll figure it all out from there. If we have to make something up, we will. Alright, so there's our flight plan. We're going to go ahead and close SimBrief. Just use the flight plan as we have it here. And let's go ahead and close this guy. We don't need it anymore either. Let's bring this over here. I am going to have that off screen. If you guys need a detailed tutorial on where I'm getting the information from, check out the link in the description below. I'll have a link to the A320 tutorial series, at least the video one. And then, actually, I think I have a playlist for that now, so I'll link that instead. And then, obviously, check out, if you guys are interested in supporting the channel or like what I do, please consider subscribing to my Patreon site down below. $10 or more does give you access to the documentation I'm creating. I am in the process of making a very, very detailed A320 guide. Breaks down, first is a cockpit tour now, where every single instrument, button, knob, etc. You'll be told what it is and where to find it. And then obviously we'll have the startup guide, and it's a full flight. What we're going to be doing is a full flight from Tucson International over to Los Angeles. And it walks you through the entire thing. So if you guys are interested in something like that for the A320, by all means check that out. I think you guys will like it. Okay, so now that we have our I'm going to go ahead and close the camera down for a second. Now that we have our flight plan built, it's time to start configuring the aircraft. So let's go ahead and jump back upstairs for a second here. We're not going to worry about the fuel pumps yet until we're done with our refueling. Then we'll configure our weights and balances. Then we'll enter in the MCDU information. So we've got our external power on. Let's go ahead and turn the air up a bit. It's pretty cold in Denver today, so we're not going to worry about freezing everybody out. Let's bring the beacon light on, the nav logo light on. Oops. We can turn our wing lights on now if you want. You can do it now or later. It's up to you. Seatbelt signs will leave off for now. No smoking signs off for now. Emergency exit lights the same as well until we're done with the refuel. Crew oxygen supply. Let's get that rolling. And let's go ahead and step downstairs and start configuring our weights and balances. So we're going to come downstairs here, and let's go to the weights and balances menu here. Now I'm going to switch everything over to pounds, and this does require a bit of conversion for right now. Inside the sim, you have the option to switch between pounds and kilograms, but every time I have tried to do that, when I try to use kilograms, it either freezes or bugs out. Like every time I try to move the sliders, it just gives me a hellacious time. So what I do is I just use Google. I go to Google here, and I just literally type, kilograms to pounds, or pounds to kilograms, excuse me. No, kilograms to pounds. I was right the first time. Kilograms to pounds. And just bring up a real simple conversion like this. And for example, so we're going to start with our fuel. And I can leave both these on the screen for you guys so you can see what I'm doing here. For example, we're going to talk about our block fuel, right? This is in kilograms. So we're going to set this to 10185. And we're looking for 22,454 on the pounds. So coming back over here, 22,454. So here's our fuel on board right now. So we can actually reduce by just a little bit. 22,512. So this is going to be preference, guys. If you want to get it right down to the T, you can. Again, this is the advantage of being in a simulation. You don't have to. It's not going to hurt anything. Sorry, I didn't mean to nail the microphone there. You'll be able to complete your flight just fine, right? We're not bound by the true laws of nature in the sim. Okay, so it doesn't have to be as critical, and you're not paying for the gas. So, unless you're doing FS economy, which we're going to finally be starting that. I know I keep saying that. Just, gosh, every single time I try to sit down to start it, something else comes up. So, please forgive me on that, guys. I know that's what's going on there. So, give me a second here. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. I had a quick interruption there I had to deal with. Anyway, so yeah, every time I try to set up the FS economy, it just, something else gets in the way. So hopefully we'll get that rolling. I'm really excited to try it out, but it's definitely something that's going to require some time. So it's been hard to sort of set that time aside. All right, so now we've got our fuel close enough. I don't know that I'm going to worry about. Let's see what happens if we take these down to 81. Do we get closer? 22,454. No, we actually dropped. So let's just, oops. There we go. That's close enough. I think I'll just leave it as is. Well, now it's at 22,485. So yeah, we're 30 pounds high. I'm not worried about that. Okay, so next we got to set our payload. So again, doing the same thing here. I don't know why this is lagging so bad all of a sudden. It's being really weird. Forgive the stuttering. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Hopefully that's something that smooths out here in a second. That's a new development. All right, so we're just going to go with payload here, 17.3. So we're looking for 17,300. And so 38,139 on the cargo, on the payload here. So payload here, we're at 2270, so we're light. Let's bump that up. 33, we are so close. Let's go 55. 33,704, so we're high. We're really high there. So let's do this. Let's see here. Let's take... make that 0, so 33,404 on the payload. And let's do the same thing for economy class. 33,104, 33,139. Okay, I'm not worried about that again. That's perfectly close enough. Now our Mac is right on the edge there. Let's see if we can't smooth that out a little bit better. Let's move the baggage around. So let's take this down to 5,000 and we'll move this up to 11,000. There we go. Now we have a much better center of gravity. See the plane bounce there? That's cool. Never seen it do that before. It looks like it actually adjusted the weights. I've never noticed that before. I wonder if that's new. Or maybe I just didn't notice it. All right, so we've got our fuel on board. We've got our weights and balances set. So now let's go ahead and call the fuel truck in. And that will pop up once they're finished refueling. So this will simulate the fueling at least. Back to clearance. I want ground services. Oh, tune to ground and request the fuel supply. All right, so we'll just go ahead and throw that guy out there. Oops, wrong button. Didn't want that one. We'll bring our camera back. Guess no fuel truck, huh? All right. Anyways, okay, so now next let's get into programming the MCDU and get ready to roll on out of here. All right, so we are ready to get into the seat. Let's go ahead and do this and start getting our system ready to roll here. Passengers are currently boarding. And we're looking at departing in about 35 minutes. So let's get rolling here. So get into our FMC here. And let's get this rolling. So we're going to do K Denver to K O'Hare. Seriously? Thank you. Alright, our cost index today is 65. We're going to burn a ton of fuel on this flight. Cruise altitude is 35,000 feet. Damn it, come on. Alright. The IRS initial position looks like we're all set and ready there, so no worries there. And now let's go ahead to our flight plan. Starting here, go to departures. We're going to be using the, let's go down to our route. Oops, sorry. 17 right. And we're coming off of the Emmys 7 to the Zirkle transition. Oh, let's go back here. Oh, it's telling me no transitions available. Interesting. Should be. Well, guess we'll deal with that. Let me go back to the top here and make sure that we have it. Yep, no. Alright, well, we'll just have to make it work. We'll use the old direct. Oh, there it goes. It took it. Cool, we got it. So we're going to Zirkle. And then we're going to be going direct to PWE. So Papa Whiskey Echo. Throw it in there. You know what? No, I didn't want to do that. Selected the wrong one. There we go. So we'll go PWE, the decel point. Come on. Why are you being difficult? Insert, sometimes it just doesn't update right. Nope, it did it wrong. Why are you doing this? Yes, erase. Dude, I just told. Oh, I know why. Yes, insert. And then PWE should be able to go right here.
On behalf of the cabin crew, I'd like to welcome you aboard our flight. As you find your seat, be sure to place your large carry-on items in the overhead bins and smaller items underneath the seat in front of you. If you have trouble finding
There it goes. All right.
any of your carry-on items,
Thank you. And then we're doing direct to IRK.
if the overhead bin
India
is full,
Romeo
please make sure
Kilo.
you close
We'll
it
just
as
throw it
a
up here this
courtesy to other
time. Save us
passengers.
the time.
Please double check that all your items are put away so that the aisle is clear and other passengers can make their way to their seats.
All right. And we'll set up our arrival when we get up in the air. Actually, what the heck, we'll do it now. I don't care. You can always change it. We're expecting the 22 right.
You are free to use your portable electronic devices during the boarding process. We ask that larger
And
electronic
coming in
devices are
off
stored once
of the
departed.
Benki
Thank you
6.
and welcome aboard.
I don't think we have any. Oh, the KORD via. Hang on. Well, we don't have. Oh, I'm retarded. That's the airport. Let me check this real quick here. Nope. Looks like no vias. We're going to use no via. Okay. Coming in on the. Well, we're good. All right. There we go. Let's go ahead and take a peek at everything, see what we're looking like here. Let's move this over to plan. Perfect. All right. Let's get back down to our FMC. Let's go back to the initialization page. Go to init B. Have it calculate the zero fuel weight. I'm just going to leave it as is. Supposedly this is working. So fuel 10.1. Actually, we're going to call it 10.2. I don't know what this stuttering that is going on. It's just like not following my mouse clicks. It's driving me nuts. There we go. Give it a second. It should calculate the rest of that. We'll come back here. And we're going to be using flaps 1 for takeoff. I'm not going to worry about the calculator today. We're just going to use toga for today's takeoff. Transition altitude of 18,000 feet. And let's calculate those V speeds. Let's go back to the initialization page for a second. There it goes. We're in there. Good. Now we'll go back to performance. 139, 143, and 147 plus 10. Gives us 157 up on the roll this up a bit. So 157 there. Set our initial altitude to 18,000. Oops.
We're ready to go when you are.
Perfect. All right, let's get our constraints on. Let's get this back to ARC. Flight directors on. Constraint set here. Flight directors here. Auto brake max for takeoff. Let's go back to the canopy view here, or cockpit view. All right, let's make sure speed brakes are up and armed. Predictive wind shear will be off for now. Weather radar's off for now. Cabin door, let's go ahead and give it a lock. Cabin doors are locked. Let's set our transponder code. 356, sure. Let's set transmit receive. Oh, that's a TCAS, excuse me. We'll turn that off for now. Let's turn our transponder on. Alright, let's do a clear on the recall here. And it looks like we're just about ready. So let's go back up top. Let's get our APU started. Seatbelt sign set. Oh. Arm the emergency exit lights. Fuel pumps on. Should have done that before I started the APU. Alright, and as soon as our APU is ready, we'll be ready to get out of here. Flaps open. You can see the APU starting here. check outside. Make sure we're clear. Aircraft is clear. Let's get that jetway disconnected. Maybe, if it brings it up. I don't know why it's having a problem today. I want to pull this off screen. That way we can request our pushback here in a minute. And we're going to taxi to the right side, or push back to the right side. Gosh, this model looks fantastic.
Please fasten your seatbelt and make sure that all tray tables and seat backs
all right, flap is open. Let's get that pushback.
Cabin crew, secure doors for departure.
Now, because they don't actually talk to us like they should, I'm going to go ahead and release the parking brake now. Set the engine to ignition. We'll wait till the pushback actually starts, then we'll start too. Actually, wait. Let's go ahead and switch to the APU bleed. Gosh, I'm getting ahead of myself. There we go. Give that a second. Disconnect the external power. Pushback has started. Let's roll engine 2. We want to push back to the right.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your complete attention to the flight attendants as they demonstrate the safety features of our aircraft. You will notice a light illuminated above your seat. When this light is illuminated, please fasten your seatbelts low and tight across your lap. To fasten, insert the metal fittings into one another and tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. We suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the flight as you may experience unexpected turbulence. Please take a few moments to now locate one of the several emergency exits on this aircraft. In some cases, your nearest exit may be behind you. In case of an emergency and we need to evacuate the aircraft, there is lighting on the floor that will guide you towards the exit. In the event that the cabin loses pressure, an oxygen mask will drop right in front of you. To start the flow of oxygen, pull the mask towards you. Place it firmly over your nose and mouth and secure the elastic band behind your head. Tighten the strap if necessary and breathe normally. Although the bag does not inflate, oxygen is flowing to the mask. If you are traveling with a child or someone who requires assistance, secure your mask first and then assist others. Leave your mask on until a member of the crew advises you it's safe to remove it. In the unlikely event of a water landing, a life vest is located in a pouch under your seat or between the armrests. When instructed to do so, open the plastic pouch and remove the vest. Flip it over your head. Wrap the straps around your waist and buckle at the front. Pull the strap to tight. To inflate the vest, pull firmly on the red cord only when exiting the aircraft. If it doesn't inflate automatically, you may blow into the mouthpiece for manual inflation. Each vest is equipped with a whistle and a light. If you need to, your seat cushion can be used as a secondary location device. Please make sure to exit the aircraft as soon as possible and leave your belongings. Once again, all devices must be in airplane mode and your larger devices must be turned off and stowed at this time. Please securely stow your personal items. Make sure your seatbelts are fastened and seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position. We remind you that this is a non-smoking flight. Tampering with...
All right. That should be interesting. I love this game. All right. Let's get rolling. Just gonna bring up my head tracker here for a second. There we go. One last check. Hopefully this lag clears up soon. This is new. I haven't had any trouble with any lag for weeks. Alright, you're doing something weird. There we go. Sure we're stable. Yeah, let's get out of here. Whoa, nice runway. Let's get out of here. I'm gonna say Microsoft has a few things to fix with the maps. Jeez. So I guess we're keeping that fuel hose, huh? Oh, mercy. Come on, man. It's pretty fantastic. Can't wait till we can do more wing views when we actually get a darn cabin. I'm a little shocked with as popular as those are, why they weren't released with one like that. Just, I don't know. Call me crazy, I guess. Seems kind of silly that the aircraft would be launched without a cabin. Like, I mean, if you look back at, historically speaking, FSX, P3D, you know, X-Plane, what was the big thing with any kind of content creation, right? Everybody used the wing views, the cabin views, especially on your landings and takeoffs. It's like, unless I'm missing it, I haven't seen a way to do like a replay, you know, where you can go back, do your takeoff, and then, you know, I would much rather have... What's going on here? Cabin pressure excess... What? Oh my gosh, it's added. I didn't know that. Well, this is interesting. This is the first time I've experienced this. Hope I didn't just kill a whole bunch of people. That's the landing elevation, though. We don't need landing elevation. Huh.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now passed 2,000 feet, so you may turn on larger portable electronic devices. This is also a reminder to please keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the duration of the flight and do not form a line near the lavatory. This aircraft is equipped with onboard Wi-Fi. If you wish to connect to the Wi-Fi, you'll be directed to a page to pay a small fee for internet access. We do offer complimentary in-flight TV thanks to our partners. Connect to the Wi-Fi and you'll be able to access our wide range
Everything's
of free live
on.
TV and paid music library.
I don't know why pressurization was suddenly an issue. Here's that pressurization right here. It's in auto mode. Huh, I'm gonna have to look at that later. That's interesting. It's the first time I've seen that. And I am using the latest development version as of 11/16 of 2020 for the A32NX mod. Again, that's the development version from 11/16. So it's not the most current at the moment. Oops. My bad. Well, if ATC didn't suck, and actually I think we're supposed to be above 10,000 there, so that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and send us up to our cruise altitude. I'm not worried about it. There she goes. That is so annoying. I cannot believe that hung on. Don't really need the head tracker at this point, so we'll hold off for that for a bit. Alright, so from here, it's just a matter of climbing up to altitude. So once we get to altitude, I hate that's there. It's ruining that view. Once we get to altitude, it'll just be a matter of a nice, hopefully uneventful, about hour and 15 minutes up at cruise, and then we'll come back for the start of descent. So I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys with a few minutes of window view that doesn't involve a hose hanging from the left wing. And I'll catch you guys back when it comes time to talk about the approach. All right. Hey guys, real quick, I wanted to interrupt our lovely cruise here to announce a couple things that I forgot to do. So first off, at takeoff, the second you push those throttles to toga, we should be activating the chronometer here, okay, and that shows the runtime down here. So fail on my part on that part there. I also forgot to, at the time of taxi, so once we were pushed back, I should have turned the TCAS on, predictive wind shear on, and then once I got to the runway, the weather radar. Okay, now the weather radar, I mean, it's optional, I guess, in the end of the day. But anyway, I just wanted to point out that I did catch those things, and also now that we're clear, we can bring those down. The speed brake's disarmed. Okay, so anyway, just wanted to point that out. Make sure you guys know that I caught that, and I wanted to tell anyone who may not know when that should have happened. So anyway, on with the cruise. We have probably a good about another hour or so before we'll be looking to top a descent, so I'll come back to you guys once we're ready. Hello everybody and welcome back, and we are about ready to start our descent. So I'm going to go ahead and start setting us down to the altitude restriction here of 14,000 feet. We'll just set us down here. Oops. There we go. Oops. Too many. Oh gosh. There we go. Let's just do that. Alright. And we want to be in managed mode, so I'm going to give that a click. It's an up click. Yep, descent is what we're looking for. There we go. So first the aircraft will slow down and begin making its way on down to our desired altitude. It's been a very uneventful flight so far. Weather's been nice. We still have our nice fuel hose hanging out of the aircraft, so that's always great. I'm going to go ahead and try to tune Chicago Center. I don't want to tune Chicago Center. I do want to tune O'Hare, if we can get it. See if we can't get ATIS. Doesn't look like yet. We'll wait till we're a bit closer to the airport. Drop the screens down a little bit. And again, not much is going to be happening here at this point. All we did was set our descent. We're going for about 80 miles from our target to our target location. Okay, and you can see here that about 60 miles is when I started descent down to 14,000 feet. And then from there, once we make our turn onto the approach, we'll go ahead and continue our descent down. That keeps it a bit easier. We can go ahead and reduce this to the 40-mile mark. And as we're doing that, we can go ahead and also take a look at our approach phase. So we don't want to activate the phase yet, but we can at least take a peek at it. So this is what I'm looking for, is some of our information here that we're waiting on. So we can put in our transition altitude. We can use Navigraph to bring up the our decision height and minimum altitudes. And so in our case, we're going to put KORD, Chicago O'Hare. Bring up the book. Look at our approaches. We're looking for, what was it, 17 right on this one? Or let's look at our flight plan again. 22 right. Bring up the 22 right chart here. And let's take a look at what we're looking for here. So we got our MDA height of 980 feet. So we'll go ahead and throw that in there. And I believe it's one or the other. We do decision height or minimum height. Oh, out of range. Okay, so it wants a smaller number, which is 328 feet. There we go. Okay, and we are going to do full flaps configuration. And so we're looking at an approach speed of about 130 knots, give or take. And then we're just waiting on ATIS for the remaining information. So not too shabby. Alright, so we'll switch back to our barometric pressure. Let's go ahead and see if we can't get a hold of ATC now. Gotten quite a bit closer here. Doesn't look like yet, so I'll just leave this up on the other screen here. And we'll wait for it to come into view. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a real pretty landing. Hope this all goes well. Trusting the captain. I did not know there was a Valhalla airport. That is awesome. How far out is O'Hare now? Well, I guess it's still a ways away, isn't it? Oh yeah, we're still inside 80 miles. Honestly, probably didn't need to descend quite that fast, but that's alright. That's alright. It'll give us a much better view of the city, right? Alright, so from here we got about another 30 miles or so before we start really prepping for the landing, so especially with as low as we are. So I'm going to go ahead and just leave it at this altitude, obviously, and then I'll come back to you guys once we get a little bit closer and start getting ready to bring her in. Enjoy the view for a minute. Alright, so we resumed setting up for our descent here. We've got 7,000 plotted into the box here. We're expecting to start descending once we pass our altitude restriction here, and to get 7,000 feet by nuke, whatever we want to call this. Got our auto brake set to medium. We're expecting a pretty long runway, so I'm not too concerned about the auto brakes as far as maximum power here. I'm going to go ahead and shut the radar or weather radar off, give us a nice clear view of the flight plan. At this point, we're just sort of waiting for our descent here. Still waiting to see our airport in Atis, but once again, this I really hate the in-game ATC. It leaves a lot to be desired. It really does. There it is, Chicago International. There it is. Finally found it. Alright, tune Atis. That's all I'm interested in from you guys. It's just because I don't trust you guys with the information. Alright, so I hate that it does this too. Alright, so we are looking for 29902, go figure. And temperature 14, winds 274 at 7. Alright, so let's get that programmed in and we'll be ready to start our landing. So QNH 29902, as always, temperature is 14, winds were 274 for 7, and we are ready to roll here. Alright, so tell ATC to pound it. Get back up front. Our descent has begun. We're inside 25 miles here, so let's go ahead and set the LS. Activate the ILS acquisition. I'm going to start reducing our speed down to 200. Actually, I'm going to go all the way down to 180 here. Okay. I'm not sure why we're not descending. We totally should be. Get your butt down there.
The flight crew has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. Please return to your seat and fasten your seatbelt.
Captain turned on the seatbelt sign a long time ago.
We have begun our final descent into Chicago. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to collect any trash one final time. Please ensure tray tables are stowed and seats are in the full upright position.
If that's O'Hare right there, guys, I think we're going around.
In the seat back pocket or under the seat in front of you. Please complete all Wi-Fi related tasks and stow any larger electronics.
Yep, we're going around. Go ahead and bring the autopilot back in for a second here. But we're going to go into heading mode. I don't know why the open descent is failing. Like, it's just doing this really weak descent. That's ridiculous. Like, this, it does not want to descend. If you guys know what's going on here, let me know. I've never seen this before. Normally she has no problem. I'm going to turn the LS off for now. I am not sure what's going on here. but it still will not descend. Looks like I finally got her to start going down. I don't know what that was about, but even the descent rate is just pathetic. Like, I don't know what's going on. Now this wouldn't probably be the normal way that we would redo the approach. It just, I caught that early. I knew it was going to be bad, so to save time on the video, rather than doing the go around, we're just circling back around. So I do not know why this descent rate is so slow. Like, something is not right. So I think we're going to fly this heading, but I'm going to disengage the autopilot again and get this aircraft down. I'm also going to turn the auto throttle off. Alright, we're going to go flaps 1. Start slowing this pretty bird down. Moving to flaps 2. Establish on the localizer. Activate the approach mode. Flaps are at full, speed brakes are armed, auto brake is set. Setting approach speed. Locked on the glide slope. my plane. Thrust reversers out. All right. Start cleaning up the aircraft. Flaps up.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Chicago. The local time is 6:24 p.m. and it's currently about 57 degrees Fahrenheit. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bins as items may have shifted during the flight. If this is your final destination, we thank you for flying with us. If you're making a connection, we encourage you to check your itinerary to ensure a smooth continuation of your journey. We apologize for the delay. Please coordinate with airline staff as necessary regarding connecting flights or accommodations.
Wants me to drive into that cart, I guess. Dude. Alright. Parking brake is set. Oh, you know what? I forgot to kill the strobe light. Should have done that when I exited the runway. Alright, start the APU bleed. Once we do that, turn the engines off. Switch to external power. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for flying with me today, and I will catch you guys in the next one. I hope you enjoyed that, folks. Bye-bye.